Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. We're back in the pod this morning. Happy Saturday.
Yes, good morning,
Yeah.
everybody.
Um,
Happy Saturday. I'm super excited. But before we start the show, everybody wish the Queen a happy birthday. Regina, the
Happy
Queen
birthday
of
to the
Carlos,
King.
her birthday was on yesterday. So listen, while you're watching the show, we get halfway through, if you're able to answer the question that I throw out, we are taking care of lunch for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Compliments of the Queen
Oh,
for
we
her
are.
birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
we are.
We are, we are,
Oh,
we are.
I thought they would be buying me lunch, but we buying them
Nope, we
lunch.
buying lunch. We give on our birthdays.
Oh,
We
okay. Is that
give
what we
back.
do?
Yes, the
Oh,
more we
okay.
give, the more is given unto us. So that's what we doing today. We celebrating by giving lunch to one listener on behalf of the Queen for her birthday.
So what they
So
got to call in? I mean, what?
yeah,
How they
you're gonna
gonna?
have to call in. So listen, the number is gonna be at the bottom of the cast all day, so all throughout the show, and the number is 248-905-1128. So you have to be on, you have to be listening.
So what? Wait,
Listen,
you got this long speech. You never when you talk, you just talk. You don't like breathe in between. You're like a politician. Fake. So what are they going? Where are they going to lunch? You tell them lunch. Are they? Is it $10, $15? I mean, what is it? I mean,
well today, so lunch is $25, so you get to have a good lunch today.
well, so we treating one person?
We treat one person. So you get lunch today. So you have to listen. You have to listen to the question, and you will be able to call in and answer to get that $25 cash app or Zelle for you to go
So
to
what's the
lunch.
question?
Well, they have to listen.
Oh, well, you know what? Dr. T came up with her own thing today. But you
I
know what? Let
sure
me just
did.
say this: this last 4 days has been fulfilled,
Hmm.
right? Wednesday night, my cousin from he lives in Atlanta, but he's originally from Florida. Flew in Wednesday night, picked him up. We hung out at our local spot.
Hmm.
And then Thursday, even though my birthday was on Friday, we celebrated Thursday night. So what I did was, Dr. T said, "What do you want?" And I kept saying for the last 2 months, I don't know what I want, right?
Hmm.
But then the day of my birthday, I said, "Hey, you know what?" I said, I want to feed my people,
Hmm.
right? I
That's
want
what
to
you
feed
said.
my people.
Yes, you did.
Can you take care of that? I
Yeah, yeah.
said,
See, no, she bullied me, y'all. She
did I bully? Did
let's
I
just be
bully?
real. The Queen has the tendency to be a brat, especially when she's close to people. She just calls. She don't say hi. She don't say how you doing. Look, this is what I need, Doctor. This is what I need. Can you?
I
And
did.
I'm like, no, we need to get a
We need
delivery
to pay
service.
somebody.
I'm
I'm like,
busy.
no, I need you to do it.
I'm like, no, I'm busy. Like we both busy trying to run somewhere. Listen.
And then I said, I need you to pick up 24 cupcakes, and I need you to pay for it.
And
And I
then
need you to go next door to the dollar store and get some balloons. She said they don't got balloons. I said, yes, they do. We got them for Joe Longhammer for his
she sure
wedding.
did. And when I walked in, they was right on the wall. And so listen,
You didn't know, did you?
no,
You
I
didn't know
didn't
that they had
know because
balloons
it,
there.
it was in Family Dollar. So I really don't, I ain't been in Family Dollar in a while. So
Okay.
good morning, Miss TD Lou. Good morning. She said, "Happy birthday, Regina. Thank you so much."
Thank you.
Yes. So listen, make sure y'all listen in. We got a question that will be coming halfway through the show. If you answered the question, you have to call in though at 248-905-1128. Whatever that question is, you got to call in and answer it, and you will win $25 for lunch on behalf of the Queen for her birthday.
So if you are watching this, we want to just make sure you share. If you're on
Amen.
YouTube, subscribe. Because we've been in this political season the last 3 months and we're
Yeah.
over it.
Listen,
But we got our guest today.
yeah, we're
It's
ready for a
Kermit.
winner.
Yeah, what
Listen,
no, but our last guest before the primaries
yes.
is Kermit Williams.
Yeah, so shout out to Kermit Williams. He's
Oh,
in the pod today, and we excited. I can't wait
but
for
can
the
I say
interview
something? Because
start.
You like when I say something, you like cut me off. And are we
She feeling
competing this
herself,
morning?
y'all.
I
Yeah,
am. It's still my birthday weekend.
that's what it's
So
about.
let me just talk about Kermit for a minute. He just got in. This dude has picked up some momentum the
Yeah.
last couple months. I look at posts, I see 30 to 40 shares, sometimes more than that.
Hmm.
People commenting. I mean, people on the street talking about Kermit, talking about he is the man that put in the work
Hmm.
and you guys are missing out. And he's humble. I'm like, humble. Ain't nothing humble about Kermit because Kermit tell it like it is. Yes. Or is it?
TIE.
He tell it how it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? The good thing about this political season is that we have had each candidate on twice. Not all of them.
Those who
Right. Those who
responded to us.
responded. For the ones
Yeah.
that didn't respond, you know who you are. Go kick rocks.
Yeah, for the ones that didn't respond,
Go
you
kick
just
rocks.
you just missed the opportunity to
No,
let
go
the
kick rocks.
viewers
No,
know
go
your
kick rocks.
positioning. And so thank you to
No,
all
go
the
kick rocks.
thank you to all
Go
those.
kick rocks.
So Regina gonna do her own thing today, and I'm just gonna let her, right? Because it's still her birthday. So she didn't get a lot of sleep last night because so I'm just gonna let her have this time. But listen, to all the candidates that really did come in, we appreciate you. We
Mhm.
appreciate you talking about your stance, what you believe in, and just congratulations for every person that's running.
So you know what the thing is about this campaign trail and the primaries coming up. It's the thing about what I have like read, heard people not read, but heard people talk about. It's like when you're running a campaign and you're running, people look at where you've been and what you've been doing.
Yeah, what you've been
What have
doing.
you been doing?
Yeah.
Have you been here putting the work? Have you been talking to the people? You
Mhm.
just don't show up when it's campaign time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we got people that are running, a person running, right? Who is he? I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that, but who is he? What mean? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who,
I mean, some knows them, but
right, but it's like you really got to have a Facebook page. You got to be present on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You got to have some type of social media presence. And
yeah.
the thing is, though, when you are out there and you really didn't think about your running, you're taking away votes from other people, right? And I know I'm going in, right?
No,
But
I'm listening to you.
I'm expressing because again, I don't vote here, but I pay
Mhm.
attention.
You see,
And
I
I'm
vote here,
right.
and I
But I'm
listen.
about the community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you have to what work have you put in? Did you
Yeah.
put some work in? What have you been doing on your off time?
Yeah.
You know,
So what do you do
what
when people are not
partnerships?
looking?
But
Like,
what partnerships have you created?
yeah,
Or what impact did you do? What impact have you made on the community?
yeah, yeah. And like I said, what are you doing when others are not listening?
Yeah.
Are you integral?
Yeah.
Do you tell the truth? Are you
Yeah.
a law-abiding citizen?
Yes.
Like these are things that you really think about when you think about a mayor. And we have some phenomenal people that's
Mhm.
running. I mean, we do. And that's why I said shout out to
But
everybody.
but
But
what makes them what makes them phenomenal?
so one of
What
the
makes
things
them?
that make
Give
people
me give me two.
phenomenal.
Give me two.
Well, I'll give you two. First of all, is how they present themselves in the community.
Facts.
Number one, and number
Facts.
two, are they
Two.
putting their money where their mouth is, and not necessarily cash money, but like, are you backing up what you said that you would do for the
Mhm.
community? If you have it within your spirit to do right now, are you doing it? Do you need a camera on you to get everything done?
But see, the thing is, we got two people that can be in the primary, right? Two people.
Yeah.
The thing about it, is there possible that people that you think that are that were good, well, that are law-abiding citizens, right? That put the work in, maybe they didn't get on the ballot, maybe they can work together.
Well,
And
that's my
that's the
hope.
issue.
That's my
Maybe they
hope.
can work together.
And I was gonna ask the current mayoral candidate that's coming on. I was gonna ask that question because that's real serious. Like if you're on the ballot with someone else, even if they don't win, are you gonna consider bringing in them as the deputy mayor?
I mean, that's probably like a hell no
yeah,
on that one.
but I'm just saying, like here's the thing.
You went straight to
When-
the top. Wait a minute, hold on.
but-
I got to break it up there.
yeah, but
You
here's
went
the thing.
nope, 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 nope. Deputy mayor is up on the person that's above the mayor. And to bring somebody in, you got to think about this. And I'm going in right now. You ever think about when Deidre Waterman ran and she supposedly promised Alexander Rowley to be the deputy mayor,
Mhm.
and she was doing the part within her office, right?
Mhm.
The mayor is not going to bring anybody up under them who they feel is a threat.
Mhm.
Am I right?
Well, we gotta wait.
Am I right?
Till
Am
our
I right?
mayor or
I
candidate
know.
get
Well,
out.
I
We'll
mean,
ask
I'm
that
just
question.
saying though, you're not
But
gonna bring anybody on that you think that's a threat,
but see,
unless you just you feel good, you confident
of course.
about everything that you do.
Well,
And
see, that's what I was gonna say.
you don't feel, what's the word?
Threatened or
Threatened.
but so my thought was when I said that is
Mhm.
this. Number one, the candidates have to be comfortable in their own skin. They have to
True,
be able
true.
to go and do the work and not feel inferior
Mhm.
or intimidated by anybody that they bring on.
But that deputy
Because
mayor also has to be able to take
criticism,
criticism
they have
and
to be
take
able.
direction,
Yes.
and you ain't the damn boss.
Yeah, well, and understood. But see, here's the thing. That's when the adult conversations come in. If you are really here to see the city get help, if you are really here to make a change, then you're not here to pop your own collar. You're here to do the work. So
Yeah.
that's what we want, somebody in the
Yeah.
city that's going
We
to
do.
do the work.
Yeah.
Time out for fanfare. We want work done. I vote in the city. I live in the city. I've been
Right,
here
right,
all of my life.
right, right,
And so we want to see change.
right.
And we don't want to see it just because it's time to run. We want to see change all the time and know that our voices matter
Well, but
and
see,
that we matter in the
yeah, but
community.
how I look at it too is like showing up.
Yeah,
I look for people that show up for me. It
yeah,
doesn't matter. I
yeah,
mean, you just never know. You gotta show up.
yeah.
Don't pop your collar and think your collar can't be put down. You can
Mhm.
pop your collar, but we can just crease your collar right back there, make it good around your doggone shirt, and then tell you to beat it.
Yeah,
Because that's what Pontiac does.
yeah.
You know, they do. So now, how many people we got running? Six?
Yeah,
Five?
it's six
Six
candidates.
people running.
Yeah,
And everybody think that politically, everybody think they can be the next mayor.
yeah.
If you can't even run yourself, we got seven? We
Oh,
got seven.
oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so who
Okay,
wait a
we're
minute, we
seven.
got, wait a
Okay,
minute,
we got wait. We'll wait till
what,
that
what,
mayoral candidate come on and we can talk about who all running. Because I mean, I know Mark Holland. I know Gil Garrett. I know
Alexander Rowley, Mike
Riley.
McGinnis,
We know
Wendell
Will
Woods,
Woods
I think.
and Deidre Waterman. Who are we missing? We know you
Oh yeah,
here.
oh yeah.
You here though.
Yeah, but that's seven?
Is that seven?
What the heck?
So mayoral candidate Herbert is here today, and we're gonna get to talk to him live, and we'll get to know what's really going on, right? We gonna talk about some good things today, but man, that's something.
Seven people still trying to. And so one of these people that's running got in my inbox messenger told me they wanted my support. I don't even know me. And first of all, I don't vote here.
And
He
plus, you
I
didn't
don't vote here.
respond to us.
But
We
look,
reached out to you.
no, he didn't. No, we didn't respond. I didn't send him a message.
Oh, okay. I
No.
thought we asked him to come on the show.
No, after I saw, okay, Gina, shut up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna let it go.
It's her birthday. y'all.
Anytime
Let
I
it go.
see you you know what? People have to really know that people pay attention to little things, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta have a conversation with me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You don't get into my inbox and have that conversation with me. You don't. I mean, you don't. You don't. You don't ask for support like that. That's just
Especially
to
when
me.
look, we never had a conversation, but
We ain't never had a conversation. Only conversation we had was in Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, not Dunkin' Donuts, Avon Donuts.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to buy me a coffee and buy me a donut. I said, I don't drink coffee and I really don't eat donuts. Except my little nephew from work, he got me a little donut and I ate a little bit. But I don't do the donuts and coffee. I'm not a police officer where I gotta have coffee and donuts. But anyway, so let's talk about Thursday. Thursday we are gonna be at Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts.
So
Avon Donuts.
Avon Donuts right on Woodward.
See how she just cut me off and I'm trying to intro? Go ahead. No, we don't need no. Go ahead.
No, we're excited. We're gonna be at Avon Donuts on Woodward right here. You know, Avon Donuts has been voted the number one donut spot. We will be there this coming Thursday, the 31st, July 31st. We'll be there starting at 7 a.m. We're giving out free donuts and for the Queen. We'll have Tune Up Man there. It's gonna be live, y'all. We're gonna be live right there at Avon Donuts, Regina, and I'll be serving up donuts. Make sure you come.
So and then we'll be giving away. We're gonna give away some prizes.
Yeah.
We're gonna give away some tickets. We're gonna do some things. So we want you to come on. But did we invite Santi to come and do some footage?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna ask him.
We're gonna have our main guy in the building doing some coverage for us, getting a little video coverage, maybe taking some pictures for us.
Maybe. You know, we gotta
check his schedule.
To do that, right?
So you know what I just said today when we got in, I said, so I am doing a show on my Regina the Queen of Carolines every
Mhm.
Tuesday at 7:30. Sometimes I can get here to 7:45. But I just told Sandy this morning, I said, you know what? I'm obligated, but I don't want to do it.
Mm.
But that got into the word that they sacrifice, which we
Yeah.
didn't talk about. But that
Yeah.
sacrifice is something else when you commit to something.
Well, here's the thing: sacrifice is going to cost you something.
Costing me my
It's gonna
time trying
cost
to
you.
get out of bed,
As a matter of fact,
and I got to prepare.
the definition of sacrifice is the act of giving up something
Hmm.
that's important
Hmm.
or meaningful or valuable for the sake of someone or
Hmm.
something else. So sacrifice is going to cost you something.
So sacrifice cost me time. It cost me money. When it really ain't costing me money, it's costing me time.
Mhm.
I can't get out of bed. I got to prepare. I mean, I'm just thinking all the negative. You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
are.
But I am. But I'm good because I know in order for me to grow that audience, I want to grow over there. I got to be consistent. I've watched people like I can't even think of his name. I've been following him for a couple of years. He got an ebook. He's a really phenomenal guy. Don't know him,
Mhm.
but he's one of my role models.
Mhm.
He's consistent. He's live. Well, I think 7 days a week. You know, the Queen can't do 7 days a week, but he's on Facebook, on his social media platform, going his platform. You know, people around the world are doing stuff. So that's my goal is to actually one grow my audience. I'm giving away my free ebook. In the meantime, soon I'll be writing another ebook, which will
Let's go.
build up to that where it'll be a cost, right? So it's sacrifice, but sometimes that's call you to cuss the whole time, and that's what happens
No, I
sometimes.
don't. The sacrifice do
Oh,
not
I'm
cause you
cussing the
because
whole
that's a
time.
choice.
Oh, I'm cussing the whole
So
time.
you got to know the difference between choice and
Oh, I'm
sacrifice.
cussing the whole time though.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right, so we do have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with mayoral candidate Kermit Williams.
Whoop, whoop.
And he is in the house, and excited for him to be on the show today. And y'all gonna be just like each other, politicians today.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up Man, along with Joe Longhammer and Regina, the Queen of Carlones, at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
If I'm looking for a new car and I have $500, Regina, what can you do for me?
I'll take your $500 and turn it into $1,000.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right. I can only handle 25 of these deals each month.
Hurry before those 25 deals are gone.
Call or text 248-266-9875. I'll get you a price.
Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Well, we're back in the pod with our mayoral candidate Kermit Williams, that's running for mayor in the city of Pontiac. Super excited to have him on again, and we got election coming up. We got the primaries coming up. When is it? September. What's the day, y'all?
Primary is
Primary.
August 5th, right?
August 5th.
Yeah.
What did I say? September?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy. August 5th. So that's about what? 3 weeks away? 3 weeks?
No, it's about a little over a week.
Yeah, these
Oh,
days
it
all blending
is.
together. So
It
anyway, people
is.
voting today at the library. So
Yeah, so
election
early.
starts for me today, but it's about 2,000 people who have already turned in their absentee ballots in Pontiac.
How do
So
you know
people
that
are
number?
voting
I mean, 2,000. That's
from the clerk. So they
so
can't tell you who they
2,000
voted
people.
for, but they
Right,
can tell
right.
you they voted. So there's a list that we get that shows that these people have voted. So we know when people just talking
Man, so
about.
that's sweet. You know why?
Yeah, I
It's
love it.
because I mean, what usually in a primary or election, it's about what 4,000 people that get out to vote, or
Last
3,035, or
no. So last primary election there was 5,828 people
okay
total.
total.
So we're doing good on absentees. That's only if the regular people who get out and vote
Right.
match that number. And so hopefully we'll exceed that because we really need to push local elections because this is the big decision. We'll
Yeah.
wait for the primary to be over.
Yeah. You know what? We were talking prior to you getting on, and it's 7 people that's running.
Yeah,
And
so
so this election is pivotal. So why is it so important?
this is the election for the future of the city.
Mhm.
And so believe in regentrification, not in gentrification, but in redevelopment
Yes.
and rejuvenating our city. People love nice things, right?
Yes, we
But we
do.
want those
Yes, we
nice
do.
things for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is we're at a tipping point where the city, for the longest time, has been catering to outsiders.
Mhm.
We're about to have the Dream Crew. Think somebody just sent out that Roadkill Nights is coming back to downtown Pontiac, and you need those festivities and all that other stuff. But you got to do it for the residents.
Yeah.
And so when does the island on Woodward get taken care of and mowed and all this other stuff? And we've got great people who've been cutting grass for 50 years, like the Elams and
Yeah.
others, and they're not taking care of our islands. I'm so tired that when we get into the city of Pontiac, you know that you're in the city of
You
Pontiac.
do know.
Well, see, the thing is, we have outsiders that come in and do everything. We got the roadkill. We got the things that were given from the other administrations. The other administrations have given away, or letting them get land or get at a inexpensive price or cheap price. They have not paid what they should have paid for it. And then they don't respect our city. They don't respect our people because I grew up on the south side.
Mhm.
And the way the residents are getting treated over there, because they have a way to come in. People have a way to come in and park their cars and do what they do. All that is gated off. So you cannot get over there. You cannot do anything. And then you have to pay to park when you go over there, right? I know, right? When
Mhm.
you
Yeah, so we're not taking any money from them, so we'll be able to stand up to them. If you look at the last couple elections, these people have donated very heavily to the people who've become mayor.
Mm.
And so when you work for the residents, then some things you can't take. And I said this in a debate, and somebody rebutted me, but all money's not good money.
That's true.
And so we have to be able
yes,
to
yes.
stand up for the residents. The mayor of
Yeah.
the city is the chief servant of the city.
Mhm.
And I think people forget that. Sometimes we let these
Can you
titles,
repeat that? He's the what?
chief servant of the city.
Chief
Mhm.
servant.
So
Yes.
I'm going from having, 10 bosses at a nonprofit to having 62,000.
Mhm.
And so just knowing that we need to serve the people. Mr. Woods used to tell me, we're your boss. And that's one of the things that we have to bring back to the city of Pontiac. We have to have accessibility, especially with our mayor. I've been telling people right now we got Popeyes service, and I love Popeyes, but I don't have an hour and a half to wait for a piece of chicken
You
when we
know it.
need
Right,
Chick-fil-A service.
Right. Right.
Chick-fil-A is not even that good, but because their customer service
Yes.
is phenomenal,
Mhm.
people go there because they've mastered taking care of the people.
But Chick-fil-A is also not open on is it Sunday, right? Because
Yeah.
of that, because of the holiday. So they pick and
Not
choose.
the holiday.
Huh?
Not because it's the holiday.
No. They pick. I consider that their holiday, right?
Well, they observe the Sabbath. They consider that a Sunday, so they
I
don't work on the
I
Lord's Day.
get it, but they can do that when you
Yeah.
when you
Yes.
have molded your business.
Mhm.
You can pick and choose your hours because you're still gonna get the business.
Yeah.
When you're gonna go there, you're gonna get that service, you're gonna get the line, and you're not gonna mind waiting,
Right.
right? So when you come to that, you can do what you want to do.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But I like the fact that you said that, Regina. But like Kermit said, Chick-fil-A has mastered this
Yeah.
thing. They've
Yep.
mastered it. They've given the people what they want. And guess what? When you tell people that you're going to honor God on Sunday, people are like, oh, yeah, I can keep going to them because they're Christian or they based on Christian foundation.
Yeah.
And then, and no organization is perfect, but they've set their standard. And so what I'm
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
about is the standard
Yeah.
of service. I'm not talking about Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
just why they do that. I would prefer having Popeyes chicken. If I could get
Yeah.
it in 10
Yeah.
minutes like Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
I would be going to Popeyes.
Yeah.
But the city of Pontiac has really downsold the residents over the years. And so we feel like outsiders in our own house. And those are the people that I'm speaking to. This election, all the
So
candidates
give
are
me an
different.
example how
Mhm.
they've been downside.
Okay, so for example, right now, the Martin Luther King Bridge has been closed for 1,100 days
Mhm.
by a major hospital. People get stopped by the train. Ambulances are there. We don't know what's happening. We're just hopeful that the city hasn't been sued for misful neglect of getting that done. They had the money a year and a half ago, so shout out for the administration being able to get the money from the state and federal partners. But the bridge is not done.
Why do you
Now
think
put
that's
that,
not done though?
but put that in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
The Phoenix Center is almost completely demolished,
Mm-hmm. So you
and that's
can
done by the county.
you
So
start one job gets started, don't
It's
get
two
one
different
job.
things, though.
But yeah, but that's because that's the money that's been done. Oh, county paid for that. Well, the county is different. Okay.
yeah, but this is the thing. They have $12 million that they're just buying for Pinestro, which is turning into a DPW that they're buying from Lee Construction. Because our DPW was in deplorable conditions. Those people were working in a tight environment without heat. So I'm not knocking them buying Pontiac Central. What I'm saying is they executed that. They got that done. Bridge still not fixed. And people can't get out of their house in Chowers Lane, Fox Point, and these places. And now you're about to increase it with roadkill nights. So Woodward's going to be blocked out because we're doing some things for outsiders,
Mm-hmm.
and these people can't get out of their homes.
Mm-hmm.
This lack of consideration. I literally saw 2 sheriff cars on Woodward, but you're steering everybody from Woodward because you've got Orchard Lake and all these other streets blocked off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're literally ticketing
Mm.
folks by making them go on a new route, taking extra time, and there's been no map of how to navigate the city.
Mm.
There's no true detour signs. This is just one example. This is not even city services. This is just showing that even when the work is getting done, we don't have a plan that considers the people.
Mm.
I literally took a business owner down to City Hall because he's been trying to re-open bar. He got there at 4 o'clock. The office says they don't close till 4:30. He talks to the people at the window. They say, "We don't have time to talk to you today. Send us an email."
They had 30 minutes.
They had more than 30 minutes, but they had 30 minutes because you don't close when people close. When you're in food service or anywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the restaurant, even though the closing time may be 9 o'clock, you get to
Still
finish your
served.
meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't boot
Sam's
you
Club,
out.
anywhere.
Mhm.
Right.
Anywhere.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And so Pontiac has not rolled out what I call the green carpet.
Mm.
And that's what we want to bring in. We want to have greeters. One of the things that I'm committed to doing is every Tuesday, we're going to have open office hours. So no big guys, no little U's, because right now, what I'm hearing from all of the residents is if you're not the right person, you can't get a call back.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
No, that's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
That's real.
Facts.
we want to make it where if you get there at 8 o'clock and you're the first, you're getting seen with your issue, your concern. And so we want to change the dynamic of knowing that this is the people's seat. And so I'm just going to be one of 8 on a team going to actually move the city to where it needs to be. Right now, you're getting a lot of promises, a lot of literature about things that could have been done already
Mhm.
and things that they're only thinking about because it's election time.
Mm.
I read a piece of literature. It was so good, I almost voted for the person. Then I realized I was running against them. And then it wasn't the truth also. But that's what we were dealing with.
He ain't gonna tell us what literature it was.
No, y'all probably
Don't
do.
do it.
Y'all probably got it too. Some people are, yeah. So anyway, I'm not gonna use that. I had a voter tell me my 20 years of service didn't matter. They didn't like a Northern Central joke that I cracked because I crack it. I just responded to it. They said you don't need to respond to anything. And so one of the things I'm working on is being slower to speak. So
That's
I won't tell y'all who the literature is today. But
But did you go to Pontiac Central or North?
I went to Northern, of course.
Oh, okay.
Husky in the house. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yes.
We got two Huskies.
See, but
I
I
didn't
can't.
graduate from Northern. I'm a Husky.
I
2
can't.
years.
I can't
I'm
respond
a
to
chief
none of the
all
jokes.
day.
Yeah.
So my mama is a chief.
Yes, she is.
And I tell people nobody's perfect.
So,
So,
question. What I mean, so a person said that to you, for your response. But how do you look at other things that you're challenged with?
mhm.
Yeah.
Because when somebody asks you a question, what I know when I ask you a question, you thought about it for a second. You
Mhm.
just didn't.
Mhm.
So are you using that in a way? Is that good criticism or bad criticism when someone told you, or are you looking at your whole overall?
So I'm listening every day. So my commitment as mayor, the first thing is I'm listening because we've had almost 40 years of politicians not listening to people. And so I've been blessed to be able to do this 20 years,
Mhm.
12, almost 15 years in some kind of elected office in the city of Pontiac. So I've got some expertise that none of the other people who are running have. They
Mhm.
haven't had the same experiences, life experiences, other things. They haven't come from Section 8 living to being able to run a multi-million dollar nonprofit organization. These things they haven't been able to do. But the people's concerns are the most valid. Like I said, we're shifting from having a mayor that is just a CEO to the chief servant. And so that's what we want to bring to the table that's really not being brought to the table. So when you're telling me something, when I'm out at a picnic and somebody tells me, Kermit, this is what we need to do, that's a valid point because if you feel that way, Regina, there's probably 50 other people that's not going to talk to me that feel the same way.
Mhm.
So I want to make sure that um, I can take not only the criticism, but I can actually respond and adjust to it. Because I think a lot of people that listen, they listen to respond, they don't listen to hear. And so I've been trying to listen to respond because at the end of the day, I've been able to use this 20 years to grow into leadership. When I first got on city council, that first 3 years, we went through emergency management, all of those things. Lee Jones was our city council president. One of the things that he implemented and we did, along with Patrice Waterman, was we went to church every first Sunday together for the first 4 years we were in office.
Oh wow.
And that created a bond. And it wasn't
That
just
was
our church.
United Front. A
We went
united front.
we went all over the city, right? And
Mhm.
so, because we were literally going through attack from people that had a plan for the city, but I was able to grow and watch those things because I was, on my Al Sharpton, no justice, no peace, and we wanted to tear everything down, and they allowed me to do that, and we were able to fight against emergency management. I was on a federal lawsuit. We helped start that $400 for the retirees that they're still arguing about right now and could have been fixed. We signed all the paperwork before we left and people held it up and now it's election time and I think they're going to get their money next week because people got to put out a new flyer. So part of that,
People gotta put on.
yeah, they got to be able to take credit for something.
Yeah.
And so what I've been asking people in this race, because they're like, Kermit, there's 7 people running and all this other stuff. I said, do you like what you see?
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
like what you're currently getting, then I'm not the person that you need to vote for. But if you believe that our babies are hurting, our seniors are hurting, our community is hurting, and we can do so much better, then we need to do that. Literally, a lady came to my office 2 weeks ago who had did work for the city. Her article was in the Oakland Press. They owe her $17,000. And I went to the elected officials. I said, even though it's political season, I'm not going to politicize this lady's pain or anything else, right? So I called them and talked to them. They said, okay, we'll talk to X, Y, and Z. She still hasn't got a check. She's down to her last money. And the only recourse she felt was to go to the Oakland Press at that point.
So when they owe her $17,000, is that because of a grant or why do they owe her $17,000?
So she did some technical assistance for the ARPA money, the COVID money.
Yeah.
And they decided because they had some internal auditing problems that they're going to freeze the spending of many of those programs in that 38 million. Part of it is that small business that they put everybody's name out here in the community, and some of these people still haven't got a dime.
Was that because of the auditing situation, or they miss out on the funds?
So I don't know what they're
Or
doing.
we have to, or have to give it back?
So y'all have a driver's seat every week. Y'all can bring in those people and they can explain to you why $38 million is
There you
getting
go.
frozen and they can't do it. I'm not gonna just lie what they're doing or not doing. I know this lady did work. I know she hasn't
And
got
she
her
should have been
check.
paid.
And what I'm saying to you is they didn't have to pay her from that money. They could have paid her from the general fund.
Mhm.
And then once they unfroze the money or finished the audit process,
Took it back.
then they could have reconciled that money from that pot. So
That's so
they-
disheartening, though.
Mhm.
That's disheartening to know that someone shared their talent, did the work, and they cannot get paid.
Mhm.
That's disheartening, and that also puts a bad uh, look on the city. You
Yeah.
know, it looked a bad look on the city, especially when they were out here trying to help other business owners, trying to help
Especially
people.
during COVID, because
Yeah.
COVID was a time that we were in a
Crisis.
right, we're in a crisis where we all face it in the world. We know what to do. We
Yeah.
stayed in the house for what, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
right? Didn't go
Um,
out.
I
Everybody
was
thought
a
they were gonna
frontline
die.
worker, so
Everybody,
I didn't get to stay in, but we all thought we could have died. You
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You right.
We all
So-
well,
Yeah.
So $38 million. I tell people all the time, budgets are a reflection of your priority.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so $38 million went through the city. They were literally in jeopardy of losing the money. So I came up with a plan to spend the money, and a lot of those things actually happened. Shout out to Angela Allen at the library board. She literally was like, "We need to make sure that in this plan you got, Kermit, that you include money for the library." So we presented that to the mayor, the city council, and all of that. And to their credit, they gave the library a $75,000 grant. It's not about credit; it's about doing the work. I
Mhm.
literally talked to Congress people, staff. I went to and had breakfast with the current council president at the time about not losing this money, right?
Mhm.
Because you don't need a title to start the work. And so my problem with
That's
many
right. That's right. That's
many
right.
of the
That's
many
right.
of these people who are running in this race have held back their talent from actually doing something in the time, right?
Mhm.
I'm always worried about people who are saying, I'm going to do amazing things for you, but they can't show you any amazing things they've done in the past.
Because I think some of the people that's running, what they're doing is they're waiting to get in. They don't want to, like, if they lose the election, they take their resources and take them with them
Mhm.
instead of doing the work when you're not running.
Right.
And
But
I know a few people. I'm looking at a few people that's running. It's like you have resources, you have relationships. Why aren't you trying to do it with the youth or the community now?
because they don't love Pontiac the same way I do.
No,
So
because they want to do it on their phones. They don't want to let their connections go. They don't want to start something and they're not in that position. And that's the problem.
we don't need gatekeepers. So when I left city council to run for the charter commission because we needed the internal financial controls, we needed a code of ethics, we needed a public integrity officer because of what had happened with the mismanagement of funds and all this other stuff. Um, I thought that was more important than continuing on city council. But even when I left, a developer came to me and wanted to sell the YMCA. We did not have a community center, right?
Mhm.
I took them on tours through the YMCA. The guy was willing to lower the price by $1 million.
Wow.
Mm.
They held on to the blueprints that we gave them from the YMCA for 6 months, only to decide not to bring that to the general public as an option. They decided that McCarroll School was going to be the better place, but they never told the public about the YMCA and other
Wow.
things. We could have literally been retrofitting that right now and then building this 42 or $43 million Taj Mahal that they want to build later. Because the problem that we're going to face next year, and that I'm going to face as hopefully as mayor, is we have had 10 years, well, 9 years of taking taxes, but 10 years of the youth millage, and we
Mhm.
still don't have a center.
Yeah.
And so now I got to go back to those same seniors and other people that I've asked for these monies, and we can't really show them the totality of what their $1 million a year has been given.
Wow.
Mm.
And so that is a problem. We know we need the money, and Pontiac Youth Recreation is doing a great. I think they've got some great people that know in place, but we haven't invested in the rest of the things in order to help make that happen. And so one of the things that we're going to try to bring into the city that we don't have is an evaluation system.
That's
Mm.
good.
When was the last time the city actually sent you a survey?
I have never
No,
done
yeah.
that.
Well,
I have never done
my
that.
mother always been a Pontiac citizen. I used to go through the mail for years.
But
I
even
never
even
done
you,
that.
Regina, right?
Hmm.
Because your business is right on the outskirt of Pontiac. How are we not trying to attract Joe Longhammer to open up a second site in the city of Pontiac? These are the things that we have to do
And he
because
started in the city of Pontiac at Stadium Chevrolet. It
wow.
was Stadium. I think I forget what street, but it was in Pontiac. He was there for years.
And so we need to recruit, right? And so one of the things I had to realize when I became head of the nonprofit, I really learned very quickly what my skill sets were and what they weren't, right?
Hmm.
And so Autumn Butler came back and was my co-executive director, and she is phenomenal at doing all of those things that I'm not good at, and that allowed me to do what I was great at, which was the fundraising part. And so I've been all over the country, not only championing for Oakland Forward, trying to bring in resources, but trying to bring resources and programs into the city of Pontiac.
Mhm.
As mayor, you're going to have to do that also. And I haven't heard anybody talking about what they're going to actually do to attract people that are there. We're literally losing population according to the census. It's small, but we're losing people.
So what's your first order of business?
First order bit. So I
If you
got
become mayor, what's your first order
so
of business?
we got about four things. So uh, day one, we're going to make sure that the bridge project is on track to do what it needs to do to fix this bridge on Martin Luther King. We're also going to make sure that the retirees' healthcare situation is settled. If it's not settled before then, but I think it will be. Like I said, because it's election time. The next thing that we're going to do is make sure that we actually go to the community and tell them about the plan for Pontiac Central. If we're going to spend $12 million on that building, we need to be moving more city services there to offset that cost that is there. So we need to look at inventory of what we're going to do. And then we also need to update the people on the youth center, not just send out glossy flyers that say you're going to have a youth center. We need to actually have that done. So those are the first big things that we're going to do. The thing is, we got to change the culture in City Hall. One of the things that I lament all the time is that I call the clerk's office, they do a phenomenal job. But when I call other city departments, sometimes people answer the phone and they don't tell you their name.
Mhm.
So how do they answer the phone now when you call them?
Or
They answer,
they don't answer and keep you on hold for hours.
right, or they don't call you back, right? I'm still waiting. I
Yeah.
called for some trash for a resident
You,
about 3 weeks ago,
yeah.
and I never got a call back to let me know it's fixed up or anything else. And I'm not. We got to give people more staff, so I'm not blaming the workers that are there, but we have to retrain the whole system. So one of the things that we're looking at is the city of Pontiac does not use tracking numbers for the community. So when you call, you don't get a confirmation number that says that you're number 75.
Mm.
So when you call back, you can't just pull up number 75. You call back and you say, oh, it's the address or what the issue is, right? So you don't know what it is.
So no documentation.
So consumers, DTE, they all have tracking numbers.
Yes,
do.
they do.
And the city of Pontiac
They
is
do.
still in 1970, right?
Mhm.
As far
And you
as
putting us back that many years?
yeah, what are you talking about? Things
Yeah.
are automated.
Yeah, no,
These
you're
people
right.
still writing down
No,
notes,
you're right.
right?
Right.
I mean, they go in the computer, but I mean, at the end of the day, as a customer, you're not getting any response. So when you call back 3 weeks later,
Wow.
They have no
They
record.
have no record.
no, they have a record. You don't have a record. And so they can't tell you that you spoke to because they didn't answer with, so you didn't know you talked to Susie.
Because they
Because
didn't
Susan didn't get
tell
after your name.
Susie didn't tell you the name. So now they got to go around the office. Oh, I don't know who you talked about. And if they haven't put correct notes in the computer system,
Man.
you starting all
Doesn't
over.
matter.
And they then say,
Mhm.
oh, okay, well, we're going to take down your complaint and we're going to rewrite it.
Wow.
You get what I'm
Instead
saying?
of saying, "Oh no, you called Miss Moore on the 17th and you talked to John, and this is what we're oh yeah, we that tracking system is
Mhm.
definitely necessary."
So we have to bring in a tracking system. And then we're also going to be able to automate our income tax division. We're the only, well, not the only, but we're one of the few cities that you still have to put paper income tax for your return.
Yes,
And so that
yes,
just doesn't happen. And so we're leaving millions of dollars
yes.
on the table because you can't click the third button on TurboTax.
Yes.
So I met a gentleman from Birmingham who works for the County Aid Society, and he gave me the idea and the impetus for how we can automate that.
Man,
And
that's
so
good.
so that's one of the programs that we want to bring in because that's going to be millions of dollars. It's going to save you some headache,
Mm.
and it's also going to keep the city in compliance with what they're doing. Because some things we do very well, and a lot of things we don't. And the problem is citizens don't know which is the difference.
Yeah. So we need to take a break. But listen, for those of you who are listening, this is the question. Mayoral candidate Kermit Williams gave 4 things that he wants to do when becoming mayor. Regina asked him, "What is your first order of business?" If you can list one of the things while you're watching and call in at 248-905-1128, you will be the winner for lunch today. You'll receive a cash app, a Zelle from B in the driver's seat. Again, that number is 248-905-1128, and we'll be right back after this break. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up Man, along with Joe Longhammer and Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
If I'm looking for a new car and I have $500, Regina, what can you do for me?
I'll take your $500 and turn it into $1,000.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right. I can only handle 25 of these deals each month.
Hurry before those 25 deals are gone.
Call or text 248-266-9875. I'll get you approved.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune.
And
Well,
we are back.
yeah, but let's go back to we want you to call in. It's 248-905-1128, 248-905-1128. Call in and mayor candidate Kermit Williams listed actually 5 things that he would be his list of order of getting things done. Give us one and you got lunch on us. Be in the driver's seat. So
Yeah.
if you
248
don't take it,
905
I'm going to
1128.
lunch.
Regina already putting her dibs in, y'all.
I'm going to lunch.
All right, so we back. So, mayoral candidate Kermit. So you talked about your first item for business, but I see one of the things that you talked about that you want to do is delivering new and affordable housing for Pontiac families, and that is one of the biggest things
Mhm,
that we're facing.
mhm.
New developments, new housing, and affordable housing. How do you plan to do that?
That's always the number one question, right? Because the country is in a housing crisis.
Yes.
One of the things that I've been doing, like I said, you can't wait to you be mayor to do these things. We've been taking developers on tours of the city, finding out where they can look at. We've got some dilapidated schools and some other things that can be uplifted. We've got a guy that had just did 75 units in Inkster
Hmm.
that wants to come to Pontiac and do some development. So the goal is to do 1,000 units over the next 4 years. But we also have to change the type of housing we have.
Okay.
So we are not tapping into that Oakland University OC model where these young people want a place to live.
Yeah.
In Ann Arbor, they have like loft houses
Yeah.
where on
Yes,
top of, and
yes,
so we don't have that. All we got is single family, right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
so we need to find
Mhm,
ways to generate income from home buyers. If you want to
mhm,
open up your garage as a house, you should be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so we
mhm.
need to be able to create that. The other thing is we need to have a partnership program. And so I literally talked to one of the people last night about how we can actually use city dollars and city people to help doing the handiwork and other things at these senior homes in order for them to stay in their house.
Hmm.
Because what's happening is they end up giving their home away, moving to Waterford or whatever, and instead of the grandchildren taking it over because nobody's taught them how to take care of a house.
Mhm,
And the
mhm.
housing is, this is a thing. That's work.
Yeah.
right?
It
So
works.
and
It
you
is.
don't know that as soon as you buy the house, everything starts falling apart,
It
right?
does.
And so it looks good when you buy it, but as soon it happens, right? And so we have to find a way to start not only training these people, and so our program, it was going to be called Pontiac Pride, but we're changing the name to Pontiac Proud, and it's
I
going to
love
be
that. Come
going
on,
to
Yeah, that's
be
good.
18 to 40-year-olds, and they're going to have to get some kind of tooling or apprenticeship, and then half the time they're going to be working and cleaning up the city, and we're
Wow.
going to pay them the whole day, right?
Wow.
So whatever the education system is, and we're working with some people on doing that right now, trying to get that to the table and figuring out true cost for it, so we'll know how many people we can take. But we want people in Pontiac to clean up the city. It's heartbreaking for me that all these surrounding people and these churches look at Pontiac as a mission trip.
Mm.
Why do you say they look at it as a mission trip?
That's what they literally told me they do. Like, so we got churches and others that come in and they'll have a day cleanup or whatever in Pontiac because they feel like they want to give back. They can't make it to Africa, so they're gonna make it to Pontiac.
And they
And
do it for a day and they leave and they come back the same time every year.
exactly.
That's the mission.
Every year, same time.
But we
You
have
hook
to
up with an organization, they do that because I know.
but we have to have self determination. And so Pontiac needs to be able to take care of Pontiac. And as mayor, we have to create an environment where people can plug in. So the other thing that we're working on, and we got to find money in the budget to do, is we're going to actually have community navigators. There's so many services in Pontiac, but there's so few people who are connected to those services.
That's true.
And so we literally have had organizations like Central Cultural La Familia, Oakland Forward, and others who've been doing this for years, right?
Yeah.
And the city hasn't helped at all. They haven't given any resources at all. When they first started this housing program that they were going to shout out, and I think it's a phenomenal program, especially if you can figure out a way to do more housings with it, right? We literally went to the grant department and said that if you just do it first come, first serve, you're going to miss out on a lot of seniors. First, they're not going to be able to get all that paperwork together because they're not computer savvy or whatever. What happened? The program crashed in 45 minutes.
Wow.
All of the people that needed to sign up, if they didn't make it in that first 45 minutes, they were out of luck.
Mm.
Grant department closed. And so a lot of seniors who needed it,
They couldn't get it.
right? And so the ones with the wherewithal and the family members that could help them and all that other stuff, they were able to move through that system. And so we need navigators all the time. When I was a kid, we had to go to the Department of Health and Human Services, and the experience that I had waiting 6 hours
Ooh.
in the hot sun with my mama, I still remember it. And so even though it was times in my life when I were in college and other places that I probably needed DHHS, I never used them because I said I'll never go back into that position where I have to be humiliated. So rather than eating, right,
Mm.
getting those benefits because the service connection was horrible, I just went without. And there's a lot of people who are going without right now in Pontiac that definitely need to have people that's going to treat them with dignity in order for them to navigate. Think about it. If somebody's illiterate, how are we helping them navigate the digital world now?
Mhm.
It's true.
With a
We're
computer
not.
where you got to
Yeah,
read
we're
or
not.
app or anything else,
Mhm.
right? How are you doing that,
Mhm.
right? And we don't have anybody in the city designated right now to help these people.
Mhm.
Our population is growing with Hispanic people, 25% almost, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
How are we locking them in?
Mhm.
They're making it on their own, but I don't even know if there's navigation. There's navigation probably in the building department.
Mhm.
We don't have it for all city services.
Mhm.
So we're going to make sure that we hire somebody that can do that and is designated for going into those communities and knowing what they're needing. Because listening is important, right? But if people don't feel comfortable in talking to you, you'll never hear what you need to hear. And so that's one of the things that we are working on, most importantly, to kind of get and navigate in order for that to happen, because the people have to be connected to the services. Now, what's happening on the national level is we're going to have to do more with less.
Mm.
People losing their
Okay.
food stamps. People going to be
Yeah.
losing their Section 8.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're already robbing pizza delivery people because they're hungry. So just imagine what that looks like in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And we got a plan for that now. And so that's why I've been begging this current administration not to spend any money. We don't know what that looks like. they've been able to get money from the federal partners and other things is because Democrats were in charge of everything from Joe Biden all the way down, with the exception of Sheriff Bouchard. We had all Democratic leadership. So it was easy to go to Governor Whitmer, from Brenda Carter and Jeremy Moss and Haley Stevens to get money and resources from Pontiac. Now they're not in the catbird seat. You've got a whole different world. You got this big ugly bill that's going to affect people that's not reading it, and they didn't think fat meat was greasy. But we're going to have to deal with those consequences. And as a leader, we have to start looking ahead, not behind. You can't just keep spending when you know that your check is going to get cut off, right?
You
The
can't.
federal money that we have is gone. There's no more 38 million. They freezing it because they didn't spend it, and they may take that back if the city, they've already done it with the school district and some other things
Yes, they
when
did.
it's talking about funding. And so that's another show. But the point is, we have to have leadership that can forecast where we're going to be at. And we haven't had any economic forecast for what the president's agenda is actually going to mean for places like Pontiac.
Wow.
I got one question here, one last question. I don't know what you got, but
No, go ahead.
what makes you the best candidate for mayor?
I think that all of the candidates are great in their own way. They all bring some different experience. We just sat on about 5 panels with them, so I got to learn what they do, and I think they all have a place in the city of Pontiac. I need their help desperately. The difference between me and those candidates is I'm the only candidate that I think has the integrity to speak for Pontiac in the same way when the people are in the room and when they're not. You have to trust the next mayor with the life of your city. And so, what these people want to do with buying this election, they want to wipe out Pontiac and turn it back into Indian Hill. They want to build it for some other community, and I want to build it for us. I didn't start in this election just because I needed something to do. Literally, people came to me crying about customer service delivery, the fact that they're not heard, the fact that we've got 15,000 kids with no place to play in the city of Pontiac. We've got thousands of them that can't read at grade level, and we have to do something. The city has supported the school district and the people have supported the city, but we've never really combined those resources together to make Pontiac flourish. And so what we've been doing is lobbying. We were able to get $19 million of school debt wiped out of the school district. We literally sat with Governor Whitmer's staff, shout out to Oakland Forward and the Michigan Education Justice Coalition, to get that wiped out, right? On top of that, we got $4 million in the state budget last year to get more African American teachers. The average kid doesn't see a black male teacher until they get to junior high or high school. And so you can't be what you don't see, and you know you're
Facts.
not
Facts.
reciprocating those things that need to happen. And so the reason that I'm different from these candidates is some of these people tolerate Pontiac. I love Pontiac, and I'm here regardless. And I've been dealing with the decisions they've made. When we left City Council, they had $3.5 million for a youth center, $38 million in ARPA money. All of the city lawsuits were taken care of, even the retirees at the time. So they had none of that stuff that we had to deal with over the 12 years. We took these jobs when they weren't sexy. People forget that the city didn't have
When they
money.
weren't sexy.
People forget that the city didn't have money to even cut the grass, and they had to send bush hogs through the city and just lay the hay down because the city couldn't maintain the lots that it had at the time when we took over. They sold all of those departments, and we're still dealing with the fallout from them. But where was these people? There's never been a fight over the last 20 years in Pontiac for Pontiac residents that we weren't there.
Mm.
In office, outside of office, school district, city, kids getting attacked on playgrounds. We had kids in other places that we had to go speak for because they were getting, because we're sending our kids outside of the school district. And then
School
they're
of
getting
choice. Is that school of choice?
school of choice, but they're getting racial overtones, slurs, and other things. So we had to show up at their city hall and other places to make sure that we're fighting for our black boys and black girls in and out of the city. We've been doing that for 20 years. And so these Johnny come lately people, or come when it's convenient people,
Johnny come lately.
don't deserve my support.
Mhm.
And so the good thing about this election is I get to vote, right?
Mhm.
There you
And
go.
what I'm looking for is the person that is going to make sure that my interests are represented when I'm not there.
So in other words, if you become mayor, you already have your deputy mayor already picked out
No,
for
no,
you.
not at all. I know you was gonna ask that question. No, I don't. But we worked on the charter, so we're not gonna have dog catcher for deputy mayor anymore. We literally have a standard that they have to have some city manager experience, and so the current deputy mayor, shout out to Mr. Stevens, has a great resume, and we have catered some of those things in the charter to make sure they have the same type of experience.
Mm.
So you got to either have city manager or business experience masters and otherwise in order to do that. So we're going to be doing a search for the deputy mayor. I'm looking at some people, but it's really open. I think it would be really dope if we could have a Hispanic deputy mayor. I think that would be phenomenal. So I'm open to anybody who can help serve the city of Pontiac, but I don't care about race, but it would help to show connectivity, because it's not about one person, right? The other part about it is what I'm most concerned about is getting a chief financial officer in the city. We have not had a revolving door
Why do you
since I
think we
left.
did? Why don't we have a chief financial officer?
Work environment and them books ain't right. So we're
They
gonna
quit,
do an
right?
audit.
They quit.
Yeah, they keep quitting. Not they quit, they keep quitting. Just look at the
Because they don't want to be bothered. They don't
Well,
want to be in the bush.
it's leadership and nobody who has financial backing is gonna put their name on something they don't believe is right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
literally said
Well,
Facts.
the lady who left two financial managers ago. I think they got some company doing it right now. But the lady who left literally said, I don't believe the city has the capacity for the youth center and being able to manage it. That's what she wrote before she quit. And so what I'm saying
Mm.
is people don't realize that you have to have those things
Mm.
in place. And so what I'm recruiting right
Mm.
now heavily is a chief financial officer.
Mm.
Deputy mayor is important, but making sure that our
Books are
money,
right.
well, not only
Mhm.
the books are not only right, but they are set in a way where we can sustain for the future.
Mhm.
I don't want to go back to emergency management. These people right now are spending like water. They got, signs everywhere and all this other stuff that they're doing. But how are you forecasting for next year's budget?
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
county has a 3-year budget. Does the city have one? These are things. And so I watched budget meeting. Those were our marathon meetings. So when we went over the budget, we had line by line budgets, and we would go through and say, "Why are y'all spending $8,000 on stamps?" Right? Went through the whole budget. Those budget meetings probably took 4 or 5 hours, but our city council meetings only took an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We were out of there by 8 o'clock. Now you got 12
You
o'clock.
guys were known to have 3 or 4 hours city council meetings
Yeah.
back in the day.
No, they had them back in the day. When I became council president, we started. If you can't say it in an hour, you don't need to say it. You already should know
spend the
what
night.
you're
Right.
doing. Like, and so what my issue with the
I
new
love it.
the new leadership is they argue the pros and cons of something for 5 hours to
Mhm.
only vote yes on it.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm.
That's good.
Mhm.
Why are you waiting? Why are you holding senior citizens hostage to 12 o'clock? They want to talk about M1 and you're trying to wait them out at the end. That's not responsive government.
You are a comedian. You
No,
have
that-
had me
But he's
here.
speaking facts.
You speaking
He's
facts.
speaking facts.
He's speaking facts. But I appreciate your honesty and your candor. It is wonderful. I
And
love
so
And he's not working. He's not smiling because
Listen,
it's
listen,
just
if
all
you-
business.
if you can't manage a meeting,
Yeah.
why do we want to give you a promotion?
Well, that's big.
Right?
That's
You give
big.
so this is the thing, and I want to say this, and being on the driver's seat is the perfect show to say this on. People have their opinions of me because they've been able to see me in the community and in leadership for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that are upset about decisions I made in 2021, right?
Okay.
Okay, or whatever. Some people are mad at me because they, I pushed them off the swings in 5th grade. That's what we're dealing with, right?
Damn.
The other people that they're measuring, you're measuring just a small subset of whatever they've done. And you've only seen them in a good light because they've only been showing up for photo ops or they've been keeping their resources to themselves until it was a time for them to look like the grand champion. Pontiac needs everything. And so when was the last time you helped a kid with the homework? But you're telling me that you want to be the chief position in order to do this. When did you mentor? We've been working on getting the PTSA started. And so when you start looking at these things, because we know if we don't have a strong school district, we don't have a strong city. And if you haven't been putting your hand to the plow to do this work, why do we want to elevate you? And so people talk about their resume, and if you look at what most of these people are saying, they've done this all in their work capacity.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you do when you didn't have a title? Were you helping work on subdivisions and other things to make sure that these
Nope.
kids got their FAFSAs done?
No.
Because we got this promise on, we got a disconnect between the kids filling it out and getting the money. And so Kano and them got $3.5 million and we can't get it to our kids. And this is not a national crisis.
Wow.
But you can send me out a flyer now. Where was it when we needed you? But because it's election time, this is what we do. Y'all invited me on the show a long time ago because we had Kermit Presents out where we were putting that information out where the city never gave us money to do it. They instead came out with their own newsletter instead of bolstering what we were doing, right? Because there was a need for not only small businesses, but people to be connected to the resources, right? That had nothing to do with me being part of Oakland Forward, nothing to do with me being part of city council. It was just a need and we needed to fill it. And that's what I'm asking these other people that are running and asking for the vote. What need have you been filling before you tried to get the title?
That's true.
Have people in Pontiac been depending on you? Or have you just said, this wealth of experience, I'm going to take my ball and go home until I can use it? Did I get upset?
That was a good one. That was a good one. So you taking all your resources, in other words, taking all your resources, and then you when you're running,
Yeah.
but then if you don't win, you taking your resources back in your
Getting back in
pocket.
your little red wagon.
Yep.
going back
And you're
home.
going back.
But that's the thing. I'm here. There is no plan B for me, Regina, right? I
Mm.
literally went on sabbatical, gave up my job in order to run for mayor because we have to save our city.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important that people go to the library today and go vote because people are literally trying to buy this election. If you look at the people who are supporting people and you see that 90% is from outside of Pontiac, what does that tell you?
Wow.
Why do they want to be invested in the city when it's 90%? Be honest, because people see these things and they're preying on our seniors.
Well, see, here's the thing. To me, when you get a lot of people outside the city to support you and say they're endorsing you, they don't vote here. You got people here that's looking at that, okay, they're good people. This such and such endorses you, they want the vote. So I get you with buying.
Well,
And that's true.
So they're buying because they've got an interest. These people don't support just on general principle. There's people that are trying to write me checks and we desperately need them that we're turning down because, like I said, all money is not good money. And I know what your motives are for the city. See,
Well, when you write a check, Kermit, then there's expectations around it,
it's
especially the dollar figure on the check. So
exactly.
they give you a $5,000 check, even a $3,000 check, or even a $2,000 check. It's a reason why they're giving it to you. They want something. So we got Don Hannah saying something. We're gonna have to get off here in a few minutes, but she's saying so many people do not know what resources are available. I'm still learning what organizations do certain things. I share the resources I know daily.
Yeah, and so that's why we're gonna have these community navigators that's gonna be in the city, and we're gonna work with organizations that's been doing it. So right now, I'm part of a group called Transforming Communities Initiative, and we've got our Pontiac chapter. And so this is from all around the country. And one of the things that we're doing, working with St. Joseph or Trinity Health, is to create an asset map for the city. There's a lot of websites that say they do X, Y, and Z, and the organization doesn't do that anymore. Right? They don't provide rental assistance anymore. And so we're literally coming up with the map to actually have a list of resources where people can tag on and actually know who's going to be doing the work that they said they're doing. We probably need an asset map for these candidates because a lot of them saying they're doing something and they're not, but they are good people. So I'm not upset with people who best foot forward. Some people are what?
Listen, I tell y'all he's hilarious. So listen, can you tell the viewers that's listening, because our show is ending? Can you tell the viewers who are listening what is up for you now? Like, what can they find you in the next few days before primary?
Listen, so we have an office, the old State Farm Building, 45477 Woodward Avenue. It's a big Kermit sign in front of it. You can come by and volunteer and call me 248-980-8382. Again, that's 248-980-8382. And I will pull up on you. They've been stealing our yard signs. They stole one from a daycare.
Wow.
And left other people's signs, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, the green and white signs, I guess somebody wanted it for their home. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, they've been taking our signs, and so we've just been replacing signs throughout this campaign. And I'm so glad that August 5th will be here. So some of this will hopefully ratchet down and stop. But I definitely need the community to pray for all of these candidates. I may joke, but at the end of the day, I love the city, and one of us is going to be the next mayor of the city. And so we need to make sure that we are praying for them and keeping them lifted up. Nobody owes me a vote, so everybody who's voted for me thus far, it's a blessing. And so we're just putting our best foot forward for this very public job interview. And I'm looking at it, and I will say that our experience inside and outside of City Hall sets us apart from anybody. You don't have to like my personality. You don't have to like my height or the jokes that I crack. But just know that there's never been a time that we have stopped fighting for Pontiac, and we want to fight for Pontiac's future. We've been through too much for the people of Pontiac who have stuck it out not to be able to cash in.
Well, you guys heard it right here from mayoral candidate
Time to cash
Kermit
in.
Williams. So listen,
Time to
make
cash
sure you get
in.
out and vote on August the 5th. If you have the absentee ballot, make sure that you are voting. You can go to the Pontiac Library today and make sure that you cast your vote. Thank you, Mr. Williams. We look forward to seeing the next winner. We look forward to seeing change in the city of Pontiac. And happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up Man, along with Joe Longhammer and Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
If I'm looking for a new car and I have $500, Regina, what can you do for me?
I'll take your $500 and turn it into $1,000.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right. I can only handle 25 of these deals each month.
Hurry before those 25 deals are